This Jordan Tower with JT News. Make sure you smash that like button, smash that subscribe, and let's get right into the news. All right, so we got Leo Cohen. Now, he was right, okay? He was ahead of his time. He knew rappers were starting to venture out and use the millions of dollars of promotion that they were receiving from the label and leveraging it into other opportunities. And they wanted a piece of it, and they deserve a piece of it, to be honest with you. Because now you have rappers that use the system. Yes, they do get screwed in the system too. So I know there's two sides to this story. But listen, they use the system, and then they start a podcast. And that's what's happening now. You got Fat Joe, Jadakiss, Jim Jones, Fabulous, Mano. These rappers can't make money in rap anymore because they kind of gave up and went the easy route. And now you got them doing podcasts. But the labels that put money into them, I mean, Fat Joe just recently had a flop 2 years ago. A super flop. Flizzy. Okay? Now he's independent now. Jim Jones recently had some flops. And I know he had a distribution split on those flops. So they just don't get any money. He benefits from all the promotion and everything. And guess what? They get nothing. So these rappers are just turning to podcasts because they can't make money in rap anymore. Gone are the days, where they really work an album, and right now it's just lazy. They just throw out a song, and they don't really do the footwork to get it going. Now, recently, we had Fat Joe sit down on Jim Jones's podcast, which is very, very boring. I'm going to be honest with you. It's a super boring podcast. But he almost talks to Fat Joe like it's his, like Dawn, and he has to kiss the ring. He sits down, and then he's talking to him, and he's like, yes, I know you were disappointed in me in the time I was having the fight with French Montana and everything, and you told me to squash it. And Fat Joe was like, I told you, you know what I said to you, like Fat Joe somehow made it about him in the whole thing. And then he says, I never had anybody diss me publicly ever. People say no cap and everything online, but I never had nobody diss me publicly ever. I think something happened with Jim Jones where he's throwing bottles in the club at French Montana. He said something about Fat Joe too. Now, Fat Joe has had plenty of people diss him publicly. He's had 50 Cent, Cupid Link, a bunch of people, okay? And guess what? Nothing really happened. Now, Fat Joe's crew they're not suckers, right? But it's just like, you're not really going to do much in public. I remember 50 Cent dissed him right at an award show. I mean, Fat Joe responded, but it doesn't get more public than that, So let's stop the cap on that. Now, Nicki Minaj taking on Roc Nation still. It shows the CEO of Roc Nation, Desiree, right? She's riding Jay-Z as a camel. And then it shows Nicki Minaj 3/27/26, so she's going to drop this song. Now, she's deleted this since. I think this is a huge mistake to take on Roc Nation, but it's her decision. I just think it's a huge mistake. I know they've kind of launched a campaign against Drake, slightly Nicki, and Lil Wayne got shafted on that whole Super Bowl thing. Even though I believe that I'm not sure how good of a job he would have done. Still, it's a shame to not even see him come out, in New Orleans, or even have a catch. So have a little more, there was nothing about New Orleans during that Super Bowl, So, and it just would have been nice. It doesn't have to be for every city, but they did it for LA, and that's why people expected maybe something in New Orleans. But it is what it is. Nicki taking on this is just insane, though, because they're just too powerful, and she's trying to take on the beast. Meg Thee Stallion out here, very desperate. She's wearing this outfit that looks like it's part of her skin, but it's not. I mean, okay. Then we got YFN Lucci and Young Thug publicly squashed their beef in the club. A lot of people are going to be mad behind this. I mean, because they're going, it's not just that they squashed their beef. They're going the extra limit of being like friends. And, you know, both of them have the attitude, well, you know, we lost our time, man. You know, we lost the worst thing possible. But in the other sense, you got to look at it like people lost their lives over this. People, like a lot happened, you know, and they just shouldn't go to the extent where they're like besties now. That's what I think. I think it's disrespectful, but okay, it's their lives, you know. I'm just saying. Then we got, and they both dropped mid albums. Thang. Now this guy came out of jail a few years ago. He signed to Coke Boys. French Montana gave him a chain. He was telling everybody, "My love, you're my love, my love." You know, French Montana dropped a small bag on him to see if he could go. Well, he took that small bag and bought a bag of white girl and some za and some weapons. He was caught again. This is the second time he's been caught in Miami with a weapon, and this time with white girl and za. Now, Rapmatic had the funniest comment of all. He says, he gave himself that shape up, definitely on cocaine, beloved. That's a fact. How do you come out of jail and don't even get to it? He looks crazy, bro. You got them spooky eyes, them raccoon eyes. You know something's going on with him. He letting loose in Miami. And his excuse probably is, yo, I just got home. That's how Bobby Shmurda was when he just got home. I just got home. And guess what? Years go by, and nobody cares. Nobody cares anymore. It's just how it is. So, D-Thang probably cooked at this point. It's probably gonna, this is a super violation. Second time in a row, within a year. They're going to send him back to jail. Sorry to say. And it's sad, you know. But obviously his friends and everybody, they were into the partying too and didn't point him in the right direction. It's a shame, man. Anyways, I will check you guys next one. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys are having a great Monday. And I'll check you later. Peace.